So admittedly, it's been a bit of a crazy year, really, really crazy year. But I'm here to remind you today that your attitude is everything. There's always something to be grateful for. Hi, my name is Fiona. From My Happy Place, we talk about everything lifestyle, beauty, etiquette, and femininity. For a year as challenging as 2020 has been, the temptation to give into ingratitude is very high. I struggle with that myself. However, every time I think to go in that direction, I am reminded that there are things here and there that we take for granted. So I begin to give thanks for the smallest of things and grow from there. And the moment you begin to say thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you for other, you realize that the list begins to grow and the items begin to get bigger. So if you ever find yourself in such a position, try this exercise. It works. Start with the most basic of things. Food. You can't imagine how many people are going with one meal a day, or none for that matter. 2. Shelter. In the middle of this pandemic, so many people have gotten so many more expenses. Some people have spent all they have on Medicare and cannot afford to pay their rent anymore. So many other things have come up in between. So if you still have shelter over your head, if you're one of those fortunate people that already purchased a house, finished paying your mortgage and whatnot, or built one from scratch, that is the time to wear a gratitude hat. 3. Family. If you have people in your life that are always there for you, whether they're related to you or not, that is family to be grateful for. So it doesn't matter whether this is a person you just met a year ago or this is someone you've known your whole life. As long as they are always there for you, that is your family. Be grateful for them. Which brings me to the next thing that is a little sensitive for many. Many people are not comfortable talking about money, neither am I. But if you still have the ability to earn money after all that has been going on with the coronavirus and whatnot, if you still have some money in the bank, be grateful. That is something to be grateful for. So anytime you're about to complain, sit back and think. It could be worse. It really could be worse, because so many people have lost their jobs. Many have been laid off. Many have been made redundant. Many have gotten stuck in other countries, and for that reason, their responsibility is handed over to someone else. So if you still have the ability to earn money, or just money lying in the bank, be very grateful. One other thing to be grateful for is the lack of debt. If you have gone through this year 2020 with all its ups and downs and have still managed to sail through without getting into debt, that is something to be grateful for, because many have found themselves getting in debt in order to keep the lights on, in order to keep a roof over their heads, to feed their families. So if you have little to no debt, that is something to be grateful for this year. And then we'll talk about paid bills. If you still have the ability to pay your bills, it doesn't matter how that happens. If it's your son paying your bills, or if it's your mother paying your bills, you still have the ability to keep the heat on, to keep the lights on, to keep the water running. Be very grateful, because there are people struggling with that right now that wish they at least had the luxury of having just the heat on. Overall health, you guys, we cannot ever underestimate that one. When you look at the situation all around us, everything begins with overall good health. If the situation around you is giving you a lot of anxiety, guess what? If your health is not good, you're going to get high blood pressure. The statistics show that the people that have suffered the most from the coronavirus are people that had underlying health situations, hypertension, a history of cancer, and so many other things. So if you have overall good health, that is something to be very, very grateful for, because at least you start with a sturdier canvas. Which brings me to doctors or our medics. If you have access to good doctors in this year 2020 for any situation, be grateful. Everywhere doctors are struggling, they're overwhelmed with work. Hospitals are grappling, they have more patients than doctors. Now if you come down here to Africa, where our health facilities are for the most part wanting, you have to be even that more grateful if you have access to doctors or any medic for that matter, because at the very least that is a good place to start. Next would be knowledge. You can't imagine how fortunate you and I are that we have access to the internet to get to know what's going on around us, to know how to handle situations, to know how to better protect yourself or anything for that matter. Knowledge in itself is something to be very, very grateful for. And finally, the future. It may look bleak now, but the fact that there is still a future for you means there is still room for things to get better. The only people that don't have the future are those that unfortunately their journeys have already ended. So it means there is no chance for them to fix things or to live better or to hope for a vaccine or any of the things that we can still look forward to right now. So embrace the future with gratitude and try to work towards a better one for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones.